Yeah. We hand over to plenary, see if there is quorum.
Leader.
Mr. Speaker, sorry to disrupt proceedings, but at the rise of the House yesterday, you gave a very important communication, something which I strongly feel goes to the heart of the exercise that you are carrying out the last 2 days, a very important exercise that this House is undergoing. And you gave a very important communication on conduct and becoming on the part of certain people I'd refer to as state officers. So I wanted to request, Mr. Speaker, that we beg your indulgence, you allow us at least a few minutes to react to that communication, because there are senators here who have been mentioned, and of course people are wondering whether there are other forces that are guiding us as we undergo this business. Therefore, it will be unfair. I felt that yesterday might have been the time to speak to it, Mr. Speaker, but given that it was very late at night, going almost to 1 a.m. in the morning, I wanted to request if you could allow us, Mr. Speaker, to register our dissatisfaction, particularly those that have been mentioned and us as a House.
Very well, Majority Leader. You will allow the clerk to read the first order, and then I will allow just 3 senators from each side speaking for 2 minutes each, and then we go straight to the business of the day. Clerk, proceed, please.
Order number 1, communication from the chair.
I will allow comments on the communication that I did at the rise of the House last night, and I'll take 3 senators from each side, each speaking for 2 minutes. The Majority Leader, kindly take the floor.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Senate, I want to register my disappointment in the increasingly unbecoming conduct of Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria, a man who's continually embarrassing the appointing authority and casting serious doubts on the choice ability of none other than His Excellency, the President. Mr. Speaker, sir, that tweet was in bad taste. It paints senators as cheap people who have no cognitive abilities to make interpretation of the matters that are before us and make a sober decision that is in the interest of the Constitution and the people of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, this is the 14th impeachment hearing that the Senate is hearing, and I've had opportunity to vote in almost all of them. I take great exception in the conduct of Moses Kuria, in the tweet that he sent out, and the things that he said about this House and the colleagues that he's listed. In fact, Mr. Speaker, I now agree with members of this House who have brought censure motion before to discuss the conduct of this particular minister, because at every given opportunity, he has done nothing other than embarrass the appointing authority. In fact, it is my submission, Mr. Speaker, that the earlier CS Moses Kuria is let off his duty, the better for this administration, Mr. Speaker. Because every single day, in every action that he undertakes, he continues to embarrass the president and the people. No wonder the people of Kiambu resoundingly rejected his bid to be their governor, Mr. Speaker. It's because of this kind of habit, the kind of things that he says, how he goes about his duties, Mr. Speaker, and overall, his conduct as a human being. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, let Mr. Kuria know, wherever he is, that senators cannot be intimidated, that the kind of monkey business he's trying to introduce cannot be allowed to stand, Mr. Speaker, because this is a distraction.
Senator Kojong.
Mr. Speaker, first allow me to congratulate you for your resilience. The communication being referred to was made at exactly midnight, and that is a sign of the commitment of this House. Mr. Speaker, you are a bit lenient in your communication. I don't think that such conduct should just be reprimanded and left at that. Mr. Speaker, I want to urge you that this particular cabinet secretary who uses social media to disparage the House, to refer to matters before the House, to speak of the House in a manner that is extremely demeaning, that this particular person be summoned to appear before the House and to be summoned to substantiate those claims that he has made. Because, Mr. Speaker, those kind of utterances have got the effect of belittling this House and taking away any credibility this House would have in future impeachment. Mr. Speaker, the many impeachments that we have processed in this House, if the conduct of CS Moses Kuria was to be considered, his conduct falls within the threshold of impeachment. If he was a governor and if he was brought to this House, he would definitely be impeached. And Mr. Speaker, I want to urge the members of the other House, because they are the ones who have the responsibility of censuring and sending home cabinet secretaries, to take serious judicial notice of the conduct of this particular cabinet secretary, and this House, through the relevant committee, can come up with resolutions that can then be used to move the other House to discuss his conduct and to have him censured. And I hope that Senator Cheriot, because you've got the ear of the president who's the appointing authority, let us not just complain in this House. Go and tell the boss that this guy is an embarrassment, not just to the government, but to the Republic of Kenya. He is an embarrassment to the entire East Africa. The deals he has done has made Kenya look like a pariah when it comes to issues of supply chain of oil and edible oil. Mr. Speaker, this man must go. We must pronounce ourselves.
Senator Kathuri.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity also to give my comment on this irritating behavior of the CS for public service. Honorable Speaker, the process going on in this House is very, very important for the people of Meru who I represent in this House, Mr. Speaker. And when a CS, just a log CS, gets out there to make some very funny comments on social media, it is very, very embarrassing, and he is not serving, or whatever he is doing is not for the best interest of the Meru people. And I want to warn him that they should keep off Meru affairs. Let them concentrate with the work that he has been given by the president. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, I will request actually on this matter, the other majority leader on the other house to actually start processing an impeachment motion to this CS. And Honorable Speaker, on this matter, as Honorable Kajanga has put it, after this process is done,